and I felt the need to introduce myself. And the best one was Igor.
Which is your Canadian side.
Because I figured he didn't know who I was. And he goes, "Dan, stop. You know, when you did that video about the Schecter, I liked how you did, like, so he's watching. Paul was watching. We all watch each other."
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it. But I felt very welcome here.
You are welcome.
Amen. Really.
Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm still a little bit jet-lagged. Who am I fooling? I'm really jet-lagged, but my whole body is still buzzing from the experience that was 42 Gear Street 6. That's Henning Pauly's event in Weilburg, or I think it's pronounced Weilburg, Germany. And I want to first thank Henning Pauly so much for including me in the event. This was the first time I've actually taken my channel on the road, especially to Europe, and it was a really exciting adventure. I want to share all about it in today's video. So now Gear Street is an event where Henning Pauly pulls together a bunch of hand-chosen YouTubers and brands who get to hang out in his complex for 4 days, and we basically talk about guitars and related gear and shoot a lot of videos. So I highly recommend you follow along. There's going to be a ton of content coming out of Gear Street. The hashtag 42 Gear Street 6, that's going to link you to all of the content coming out of Gear Street this year. And I highly recommend you check it out, because if you want to see a YouTuber in their natural habitat, well, this is the place to check it out, because it was a very structured event. But when we went in to shoot a video, we had about an hour, not a lot of pre-planning. So if you really want to see what a YouTuber looks like when they're under pressure, well, these are the videos to watch. And I encourage you to follow along with all of us, because we work really hard. And Henning Pauly, I mean, if you know his channel, yes, he's a bit of a ham on his channel, but in person, he's actually still a ham. But he's a very caring individual who works really, really hard. And I was really impressed how this whole operation runs. His wife is a big part of this as well. And the unsung heroes, the team around him that helped put on this event, you guys really made me feel like royalty, absolutely. I felt special every single day. And well, what can I say? It was a lot of fun. So what I want to do today, I was going to give you an overview of what it was like from my perspective. And I learned something that I think is quite important. I want to share that towards the end of the video. But the one thing that Henning Pauly did say at the head of all of this is that this is all about the people. Sure, we like the guitars, we like the gear, but ultimately it's all about the people. And speaking of people, there's a special dude that actually invited me on a little side trip ahead of 42 Gear Street 6. That's my good friend, John Symons from Sonic Drive Studio. Got to spend a few days in his town. Well, a little bit of that adventure coming up really shortly. So when we start off, my flight was delayed, but we did finally get our way to Amsterdam, where all the fun began.
One F. Cross the aisle to the left.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so this is where the fun really began. Now, John Symons from Sonic Drive Studio has become a real dear friend of mine. And it's been virtual up to this point because, well, he lives in the Netherlands and I'm here in Canada. But we talk almost every single day. You know, we share this love of guitar and we both have YouTube channels. So it's great to have someone to sort of, you know, bounce ideas off. And we're just there for each other and do the best that we can. So this is the first time that we got a chance to meet in person. And we clicked right off the bat. I mean, he's such a sweet guy, and he just opened his home to me. Now, originally, he wasn't planning to go to Gear Street. And Henning, you did a great job turning the screws, because after I booked my trip to go see him, because he insisted that I come see him for a few days ahead of going to Gear Street, well, now he was planning to go to Gear Street, which means that I have a train partner going from his town to Germany. We'll get to that in a second. But he just was there waiting for me. He was so excited to see me as much as I was to see him. And right from the moment that we saw each other in person, it just validated that we are genuinely really good friends. So I was really happy to finally see him in person. He took me to his home just to dump off my things. Got to see his studio for the very first time. And we shot a lot of videos while I was there as well. It was just a ton of fun. So why don't we take a look at a little bit of that. I made it.
What's up, dude? Hey, man.
Finally, huh?
Yeah, dude. Not so lonely now, are we? Hey, man, welcome.
Here we go. This room that I've seen on YouTube for years. Wow. Look at that.
People always say that it looks smaller in real life.
It does.
Daniel from Lichtlaerm Audio, he said like, it looks a lot smaller. I was like, yeah, it probably looks smaller because all you basically see is the wall.
Yeah.
The wall of death.
So I have to say, aside from John just being a super nice guy, super awesome guy, he has a wonderful, beautiful family. And it was so nice getting to spend time with him and his family and just see how he lives. And they're just such wonderful people, so warm and inviting. You never know, some stranger comes from Canada and sleeping in their house for a few days. But it was a wonderful experience, and I really enjoyed spending time with his whole family. So I want to send a little hello to everyone in his family. All right, so what do you do when you take a Canadian who's been flying all night with no sleep, tired and hungry? Well, apparently you throw him on a Dutch mother bike and take him into town. Now, John will tell you this.
His buttocks hurt after that.
But the truth is, after that, my fucking ass hurt for like 4 days. But it was a lot of fun. It was an adventure. So let's get a little sample of that.
Oh yeah. Gonna grab some food, gonna grab a drink.
Yes.
And this is how it's done in the Netherlands. Cheers, dude.
To bike rides and rock and roll. To good health, my friend.
Where are we exactly? Strijkviertel, de Meern in Utrecht, the Netherlands.
That sounds like strike futile.
Strijkviertel.
A feartel. You strike fear.
To strike fear.
To strike fear in the hearts of millions, yes. All right, now the real fun began. I mean, we were planning to shoot some video, of course, play some guitars, had to sample some of the fruits of that awesome amp collection and get a peek under the hood just to see how he operates Sonic Drive Studio. Well, with the Sonic Drive Studio chapter in the books, it was time to hop on a train and head to Germany. Now, if you're not a subscriber of Sonic Drive Studio, you've probably been sleeping under a rock or something, but I'm going to put a link in the description. Make sure to subscribe to Sonic Drive Studio. Let's face it, he's got the best amp collection in the business, some of the best riffs and some of the best tones. You're missing out if you don't do that. Link is in the description. Anyways, it seemed the theme of delays continued because our train to Germany was canceled in the morning. That caused a little bit of an adventure, but we sorted it out, hopped on a train, and made our way to Germany for 42 Gear Street 6.
That was awesome. How did it feel for you?
Wow, it's huge. Cool. I'm going to have a lot of content coming out since I did get a chance to work with a number of different brands. But something that I think is the most important thing that I learned, it's something that Henning Pauly said right off the top, that, you know, we love our brands, we love our gear, but it's all about the relationships with the people. And it was so wonderful seeing people that I've known about for a while. Some people I know personally through sort of chat groups and things like that, but to see everyone in person and to meet some people I never had the pleasure before. But the camaraderie, the friendship, the support across the board just absolutely blew my mind. And it was just so much fun getting to know a lot of great people that some of which I've been following for years.
Igor, your shirt's ripped.
I told him that. I said a rat got in his.
I'm from Ukraine, you know.
Yes.
Oh.
We're gonna put our stuff away and we'll be.
Which reminds me, can I please try that setting in the beginning that you had? The one with the
Yeah.
Say Lonely Rocker in Spanish again. I love it.
El rockero solitario.
Thank you, my friend.
Lonely rocker.
We'll also have some whirlpool fun. You haven't even been in the pool.
Well, I haven't gotten the pool, but
Get in the motherfucking pool.
this is my first time here. Same with you.
Yes, it is.
So
Absolutely.
we cracked our cherry together. So I can't think of a nicer guy.
It's been popped. It's been popped.
It's been popped.
If I was a viewer on YouTube watching this right now, I wouldn't miss it.
There you go. You went on faith that I wasn't an asshole or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watched your channel, so that's something I expected, that you were not some kind of an asshole.
That amplifier actually represents a big hole in what I have. I don't have anything that does what that amp does.
Yeah, I can fill that hole, I guess.
That's what she said.
And I will use that hole or that.
Oh no, we're talking about holes again.
Where's Mendel? Where do you need him? Mendel van. Oh, actually, let's switch. Yeah, I need my right hand. And you're one of the people that actually made me kind of feel special here. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. First time has to be, you know, like gentle and all that. So I'm glad to be.
I know what you're saying. I feel it, my friend. I feel it. I feel it. You don't see what's happening below camera here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm happily married.
I'm always down to go visit Toronto. It's lots of fun.
All right, so hopefully we'll see you in our fair city.
All right, okay. Fair city. No, Toronto's theme song is "Who Let the Dogs Out."
That's right, and I live north of Toronto. That's right. I know who you are. That video you did on the Schecter with this and that.
They do their research. A lot of the brands, they've done the research. They know who we are. They want to know who they're working with ahead of time.
So I shouldn't be flattered then. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Shit, yeah, dude.
Fucking pro. Fucking pro.
Behind the scenes footage.
Now, it has to be said that this event doesn't happen without the support of the brands. We're there to shoot content for the brands. They want to meet the YouTubers and get as much content out there. But without their support, this doesn't happen. So I want to make sure that all of the brands are mentioned here that helped put on this event. And you know what? They were all in great spirits and they were all motivated to work with all of us. So all around, thank you to the brands as well, because, well, without you guys, we could not do this. Anyways, something that I just want to talk about quickly, and the real takeaway for me about all of this. I mean, I've talked about the relationships and the friendships that I got to make or nurture at this event, but there could have been a little sense of competition because the brands were there. Obviously, they wanted to get content. Some of them were very generous with the gear that they brought with them or promises they made after the event. So, you know, with 25 YouTubers there, maybe all having their eye on the same guitar, I mean, not everyone could get the same thing. And again, it's not just about getting the gear, but the gear is sort of the focus point of the content. So it really helps us to make content when we get access to more gear. And of course, looking for opportunities and things like that, because many of us are doing this full time. So there could have been a bit of feeling of being like a competitive spirit there. And I didn't feel that for a second. It was completely collaborative. I mean, I had a video planned at the last minute. The brand asked if I could bring Colin Scott into the video. I've watched Colin's videos for many years, and I was like, sure, why not? I was invited into other videos, and it was just a real harmonious feeling there. Everyone, I think festive is probably the better word. I didn't feel for a second that there was any competition there. If a YouTuber found out that a brand was, you know, giving out some equipment, they were of course curious and would ask questions, and we were all supportive and saying, hey, why don't you go talk to them? I even gave a recommend to some of the brands, say you need to talk to this guy. There was no competition whatsoever. And I think that's a culture that starts at the top. And that's what Henning Pauly is trying to accomplish with this event. And I'll say more than trying, he is. Seeing as though this is year 6, this is my first time here, just everyone was just in a festive mood. So that was a huge takeaway for me, because sitting here in my studio, sort of isolated from the rest of the world, you know, trying to reach out to different companies, often you don't get any feedback. You have certain YouTube channels, which I'm not going to mention here, some of the bigger ones that like to block out some of the other channels until they get to do videos first on new products. And that's just so not in the spirit of a community that this event is trying to build. But here, while there could have been some feeling of competition, I didn't even feel it for a microsecond. So whatever you're doing, Henning, it's working because everyone there just wanted to work together, and that's awesome. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Henning. Thank you to his team. Thank you to John Symons. And dude, now the pressure is on you to come visit me here in my studio. And so you know, you've always got a place to stay here in Canada. Remember, 42 Gear Street 6, that hashtag that'll link you to all the content coming out from this event. I highly recommend you check out all the videos. We've all worked really hard and want to share it all with you, especially if you love guitar. Anyways, if you have any thoughts, any questions at all, that's what the comment section is for. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And while you're down there, well, got a ton of content coming out from Gear Street, and I've got one waiting for you right here if you want to check it out. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. I'll catch you in the next one.